Hello my beautiful gems. Welcome to another pick a card reading. This one is coming to you by special request. And this pick a card reading is going to be all about the person on your mind. What are they thinking about you right now? So I think this is going to be a very fun and different type of pick a card reading than what I'm normally used to doing. So you can see here I do have 4 decks. So you are going to choose one of these decks, and then I know this one is out of frame, but this is the Goddess Oracle deck. So what I will do is I will do readings from each of these tarot decks, and then I will close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. All right, so all of the readings will have an Oracle card at the end. So right now, all you have to do is concentrate on one of these 4 piles. You can see we have an amethyst crystal. We also have an orange calcite. This one is citrine. And then this final one is clear quartz. All right, so go ahead and take your time, and then we will go ahead and start with the readings. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the amethyst crystal deck, or also the pink deck is what it looks like to me. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and shuffle these cards. Remember, we are focused on the person on your mind right now and what are they thinking about you. Okay, so I'm going to do probably 6 cards. So what does, your person think about you right now? Okay, so we've got some interesting cards here. And the first thing that I'm getting is that the person on your mind right now is really independent. Or they could also just be someone who, at this stage in their lives, is really focused on themselves. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know how we all go through growth periods in our life. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, is that your person is kind of going through a growth period, because this Hermit card is all about not only going within, but it's also about really trying to make decisions about what's coming next, or figuring out what do I need to do in order to have the life or the experience or the relationship that I truly desire. So I feel like your person is really kind of on this soul-searching mission. Now, this has nothing to do with you directly, but sometimes people need to figure out exactly what it is they want, what they want to do, and how they're going to do it, whether that be anything, relationships, work, or even just in life in general. All right, so that's the first card we got. The next card is that Hangman. Now the Hangman, there's 2 aspects to that card, because the Hangman is usually a card that talks about being stuck or kind of not making a decision. And this could apply to your specific person, but it could also mean that the person on your mind right now is going through something where they feel like they have to give up a part of themselves. Like they could be questioning, what exactly are they willing to give up right now? Especially in the cases related to relationships. Because remember, everything is always about give and take. And sometimes we have to really figure out, what are we willing to give in order to be with this person? Or what are we willing to sacrifice in order to have the relationship that we truly desire? And your person is definitely contemplating this right now, and they're pondering exactly, what do I want to give, or what do I need to contribute in order to make this connection work? Now, sometimes, again, depending on where someone is in their life, they may be willing to compromise or give more because they have such deep feelings or attachment to a specific person or a relationship. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing either, because this is all about what they value and what they believe is worth fighting for, or worth doing the work in order to have or to experience it. So when someone is kind of going through this within themselves, they're getting really clear, and it also indicates that they're very serious, and they understand that anything good in life is going to require some type of input or sacrifice on their part. And so they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to make the relationship work. And sometimes, people will be in a place where they can give more at other times than they can at certain times. Sometimes in the beginning of a relationship, you give more in order to get things going. And then as you get comfortable and as you get settled in with someone, you may not necessarily have to give as much, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care or they don't love you. All right, so again, the Hangman card is all about evaluating the cost and really figuring out what it is that they want and what it is that they want as it relates to you. All right, next up. Next up, we do have the Nine of Wands, and this is a card that talks about feeling a little bit discouraged. Now, it's normal in the course of life that we're all going to have feelings of ups and downs. But right now, I feel like your person may be feeling a little bit discouraged because things aren't unfolding either in the way that they expected it to or in the way that they want them to. And so again, I feel like this is why this person is contemplating exactly what it is do they need to do in order to have the relationship they want with you, or to have the life that they want with you. Because this person definitely has you on their mind. But again, they're trying to figure out what's going to be best not only for themselves, but for both of you together, depending on the dynamics of the relationship. Because, the expectations are going to be very different in the beginning phases as opposed to, more, later phases of a relationship. So understand that sometimes you get frustrated with people you care about. And that's what I'm picking up here. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, but that is human nature to sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed, or sometimes discouraged, or sometimes frustrated with someone you truly care about. Because again, we all have expectations that we're placing on the people we care about. Sometimes we do it, intentionally, and a lot of times we do it unintentionally. But remember, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means that your person is trying to figure out how can they create the connection they want with you. All right, next up we have the Queen of Wands. Now the Queen of Wands, remember, she's all about movement in the physical space. Sometimes she shows up when there's literally something we need to clean or remove from our space. But as it relates to the person on your mind right now and what they're thinking about, I'm really picking up that the person on your mind is thinking about how you can share a space together. Now, if you're living with this person already, it could mean maybe this person wants to have a more permanent solution with you, all right, in the physical space. Maybe this person wants to upgrade the physical space with you, like maybe they want to buy a home, maybe they want to move somewhere together. And if you're not living with this person, this could mean that someone does want to finally move in together, or live with you, or move closer to you, depending on whatever your situation is. But remember, the Queen of Wands is always about physical movement. It's about bringing someone closer. And if your person is long distance, this person does desire to be closer to you in some way. Now, again, this could be a temporary or a permanent solution depending on the dynamics of your relationship. But remember, sometimes These are things that kind of grow and evolve in their own timing and in their own way. So what I'm getting is that you really need to have some clear ideas of what you want and how you can make this work, especially, like I said, if it is a long distance thing. Now, I know some of you may not even be in a relationship with the person that's on your mind right now. But this still indicates that they want to be in the vicinity of you in some way. You know, like if it's somebody you work with, maybe they want to work, you know, in the same department as you or in the same office as you or something like that. If it's somebody who's a friend of a friend, they definitely want to be closer to you. They want to be, you know, near you. And sometimes people just want to be energetically connected to you. And I am feeling that as well. All right, so the Queen of Wands always means dynamics changing and things shifting in the physical space. And here's where things get really juicy. Next up, we do have that Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is all about working together for a common goal. So the person that's on your mind right now, what they're thinking is that they do want to build something or they do want to start something with you. The thing is they're not quite sure if you're on the same page. You know, because some people are thinking long-term relationship. Some people are thinking more of starting off with casual dating. So here is where you have to be really clear about what you want. So you are energetically communicating that with the person on your mind. Because not all communication is verbal. Sometimes it's body language. And yes, sometimes it is mental energies as well. So again, get really clear, because the person on your mind does want to connect with you in some way. They're just not sure exactly what way that will be or what you are available for. And this could change as things kind of progress in the relationship. You know, you may start off wanting something casual, or you may kind of start off wanting a committed relationship. It doesn't matter. Neither one is right or wrong, good or bad. But again, it's you getting really clear about what it is you want, because this person definitely wants to have something. They want to be connected to you in some way. And it may not even necessarily be romantic. You know, some people just, they know good people when they see them and when they meet them, and they know that that's somebody they want to have in their lives for the long term. And I'm definitely getting that with this card. Finally, you've got a beautiful card here. That's that Temperance card. Now, the Temperance card is all about harmony and balance. This is also about things coming together in the least amount of effort way. Temperance is also a card of angels and spirit guides. This is also a card that talks about past life connections or past life, I want to say relationships, but I'm picking up that it's deeper than that. So you could have a past life connection with the person on your mind, and the connection that you're having now is just a continuation of something that's already been established. Now, one of the things about the Temperance card that we also have to think about is that it's also a card that indicates angels and spirit guides, and sometimes the person on your mind shows up to deliver a message or shows up to teach you something. And however that needs to happen, it could be through a relationship, it could be through a friendship, it could be through a casual interaction, because not everything will kind of culminate into a full-on relationship. But it doesn't mean that those connections are still not valuable. All right, but again, this means that there's more to it than just, oh, we're just dating, or oh, we're just friends. No, this person has a deeper, more profound connection to you in some way. And like I said, it could be a past life connection, or it could just be some type of a spiritual or energetic connection as well. And there's definitely meaning attached to the connection. There's something that you need to learn, something that you need to experience, or maybe you're being drawn to this person because there's something in you that they need to receive, or that they need to understand, or that they need to learn. So it's bigger than just, oh, we're together or we're dating. No, there's something profound here with the connection between the two of you. So understand that moving forward, and pay attention to any type of intuition or gut feelings you have, all right? Because there's more going on beneath the surface, and there's more probably going on than what both of you are truly aware of as well. All right, so now we're going to close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. All right, you got card number 26 from this deck, and that is Kuan Yin. And you can see this is the card of compassion. And I think this is right on, because remember, the relationship, there's more going on beneath the surface. It's not just about hooking up or dating or being friends, like I said. There's something that you both need to learn from each other, and there's something that you both need to learn as individuals that will be activated by your interactions with each other. So be compassionate and be understanding as you go through that process. All right, pink cards, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Let's move on to the next pile. All right, we are on pile number 2. This is the orange calcite pile. All right, and what I'm going to do is shuffle the deck, and we're going to get 6 cards for you. And this is all about the person on your mind. What are their thoughts about you right now? What do you need to know? All right. These are some really nice cards. Okay. All right, so the first card we got is the Strength card. And that's always a good card whenever we're focused on relationships, whenever we're focused on other people, whenever we're focused on connection. Because the Strength card, not only does it mean physical strength, literally, but it also means that there's a strong bond between the two of you, and the person on your mind acknowledges it, is aware of it, and trusts it. All right, so when you have a strong connection with someone, it's really undeniable. And this person can definitely feel that. Sometimes the connection isn't necessarily physical. It's because they just feel that there's something deeper than just a, surface level connection or attraction even. All right, so there's a strong, energetic, maybe even an emotional bond. Of course, it could also be something in the physical sense. But the other aspect about the Strength card is that it means a connection, a strong connection on more than one level. It's not just about, like I said, being attracted to someone. It's more about feeling a deep bond with this person. All right? And the person on your mind, like I said, acknowledges this, and they feel this too. All right, so like I said, that's a really good card to start off with. Now, the next card we got is the Chariot card. Now, the Chariot card is one of my favorite cards because this card always indicates movement and things happening simultaneously. Now, when we're talking about the person on your mind and what are they thinking of right now, this card indicates that they've got a lot of things going on, but they still make time to either think about you or to make plans to connect with you, or something about where they're making you the priority, even though they've got a lot of things going on. Now, the other aspect about the Chariot card is that it means that this person definitely is very driven to have things progress as quickly as possible. Now, whether or not this is romantic or friendship or even professional, because sometimes, the person on your mind isn't always a romantic connection, but this means that they're very, very driven to secure the relationship or to secure the connection with you in some way. So the only thing about the Chariot that could be a little bit wonky is that sometimes when we're so anxious to make something happen, sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen in the best way or in the way that's going to work for everyone involved. So this card also means that you have to be a little bit patient and you have to be understanding, because the Chariot card, it's a fast-moving energy card. And sometimes things will happen quickly and they'll catch you off guard or they'll catch you by surprise. And because of that, you have to understand that things may not necessarily kind of, like I said, unfold in the way that you had expected or in the way that you wanted. But it doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It just means that someone has you as a priority, but they also have other things as a priority as well. And you know how it is when someone's trying to juggle several things. They end up dropping the ball in some way, shape, or form. All right? But again, that's nothing personal. It just means they've got things going on, but they do consider you important, and they do consider the relationship or the connection to you important as well. All right, next up we got that Hermit card. Now the Hermit card, again, this is a card that talks about some soul searching, kind of independently trying to figure out what it is that you want. And sometimes the best clarity will come when you can disconnect and detach. And so the person on your mind right now may be a little bit distant, but it's not because they don't care. It's because they're trying to figure out exactly what it is that they want. And the best way for them to get those answers is to spend time alone. Now, this doesn't always work for everybody in every situation, but I'm definitely picking up that your person wants to have the space and the freedom to figure out exactly what they want next and what they are going to do, as well as what they are not going to do. Sometimes you have to give people a little bit of give them the permission to detach if they feel they need to. Because remember, this really has nothing to do with you. But a lot of times when someone is processing feelings and thoughts about you, they do that best when they are not in direct contact with you. Now, I'm not saying this is a no contact situation, but what I am saying is, like, if someone pulls away, sometimes it's what they have to do so they don't get too overwhelmed by their feelings for you. Now, I've experienced this many times in my life where, someone pulls away and you think, oh my gosh, what did I do? What did I say? What's wrong? And the truth of the matter is nothing's wrong. Sometimes someone likes you so much that they have to step back because they feel themselves either becoming overwhelmed, like I said, or they don't like feeling out of control. They don't like feeling like they don't have a grasp on their feelings, and so they will pull away. And so what you have to understand is you have to give them the space to pull away, because that's what they need, and it's not anything negative. You don't want to define it as a problem or anything like that. All right, so that's what I'm getting with that Hermit card. Next up, we do have the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is a card about feeling a little betrayed. Now, this card doesn't always mean a deliberate betrayal. But again, I'm feeling like there is something misdirected here. Because when someone, like we talked about earlier, pulls away, sometimes that can trigger some feelings of either abandonment or maybe misinterpreting something as being wrong. But now the other aspect of the Ten of Swords is it's also being in a position to accept whatever shows up, however it shows up, and not judging it as if it means something negative. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. In other words, you can't interpret everything, or actually anything, as being something negative as it relates to your person. If they're pulling away, maybe if they're not calling or texting or messaging or whatever the case may be, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong or that the connection is over. All right, it's also about having a sense of confidence and security and being, I want to say untouchable, but I don't know if that's the right word. But you know how when you're so secure in who you are and what you want and what you're doing in life, that nothing can really take you off your game. Nothing can really distract you from your goals. Nothing can get in the way of you being who you want to be and having the things and the experiences that you want to have. So it's a very indestructible, solid sense of self. And that's really what I'm feeling here. And this is something that's independent of the person who's on your mind and whatever they're thinking. You are so secure, you are so confident that you're not swayed either way. And maybe if you don't feel that way right now, that is something that you're moving towards. All right, next up we got the Four of Cups. This means that the person on your mind that's thinking about you right now is going to probably present you with some offers. Now again, this may or may not be something romantic depending on, who the person on your mind is. But the person is going to come to you and discuss several options with you. This could be something as it relates to the relationship. This could be something as it relates to maybe the work or the project that you two are doing. Or it could just be something general that doesn't necessarily indicate anything either way. Something like, hey, where would you like to go for dinner? But the whole point of this card is to let you know that the person actually values your opinion and they want to know what you think. Because when someone cares about you, they care about what you think. They care about what you like. They care about what you don't like. And that is the energy I'm getting from this card, is that your person that's on your mind definitely cares about you. And they want to know what you think. They want to know what you want. They want to know what you like and what you dislike. Because they care about you. So that's a great card, and it is a beautiful thing to know that someone actually values your thoughts, your opinions, and your desires. All right, finally, we do have the Knight of Wands. Now, this is a card that talks about support and assistance. So the person on your mind right now definitely wants to help you, definitely wants to support you. And, this could be in a romantic way, this could be in a casual way, this could be both. But this really indicates that this is a good person, someone who has a good heart and wants to support you in any way that they can. Sometimes people are very genuine, and I'm picking up a very genuine energy with this card. This person genuinely likes you, genuinely cares, like I said. And they're willing to help in any way they can. Now, the thing is like their help may change depending on what they've got going on in their lives. Some days someone can give you all day, and other days someone may only be able to give you a few minutes, but it doesn't mean that they don't care, and it doesn't mean that they're not thinking about you, and it doesn't mean that they don't want to help. So, however they show up for you, the important thing is for you to appreciate them showing up in however way they do that. Because again, people do what they want to do. And I know there's people who are people pleasers, but I'm not getting that with this particular card as it relates to your person. If they're showing up for you, it's because they want to show up for you. So trust their intentions. Trust their actions and pay attention to their actions as well, because you will get confirmation and you will see that they do truly care about you. All right, so you are going to have to figure out exactly, again, like I said with the other readings, what exactly are you available for, and what is it that you want with the person that's on your mind? And once you're clear on that, you start sending out those energetic signals that starts drawing that experience directly to you. All right, so you got some beautiful cards here. And like I said, starting off with that Strength card, this connection is already very powerful on more than one level. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. You got Hecate. Hecate is one of my favorite goddesses. And this card says the in-between. The in-between. This is card number 19. Now, the in-between kind of talks about, you know, in the middle, where things are trying to come together and things are trying to kind of be sorted out before they settle in to where they're going to settle, either permanently or semi-permanently. So if there are some gaps in between the time that you're connected to your person, understand that that's just part of the process and it doesn't indicate that anything's wrong. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Let's go on to the next pile. All right, now we are going to do the reading for the citrine pile. All right, and this reading is focused on the person on your mind and their thoughts about you right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 6 cards for your reading, and then I will close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. All right. So the person on your mind right now, what are their thoughts about you? Whoa, okay. All right, this is a beautiful deck that I don't work with enough. All right, so I'm going to try and get all of these cards in the frame. Okay, so the first card we got is the 6 of Pentacles. Now this is the card of generosity. All right, so the person on your mind is actually very generous and very giving. Not only in relationships, but I think what I'm getting is that this is just a very generous person in general. They love to give, they love to share, they love to help, they love to support. So this is really, really, really good, because some people can be very selfish in relationships, but not this person, not the one that's on your mind. Like I said, they're very giving, and maybe to a fault to some degree. Because you know how some of those people just give, and then sometimes they can find themselves being taken advantage of. But the thing is this person likes to serve, and that's a really good thing, because some people are just naturally givers, nurturers. Some people are just that way. Some people are just wired that way. And so the person on your mind, I do believe that they enjoy giving because it brings them pleasure and it brings them joy. Now, the other aspect of the 6 of Pentacles is sometimes could be a little bit related to money, in the sense that this person is very much in a position to give not only their time and resources, but their financial support as well. So, depending on the dynamics of this particular relationship, that's definitely a good thing because it means that this is someone who is independent and someone who is very much, I want to say the word solid is coming to mind. It's like they're just a solid person through and through. This is somebody that you don't have to worry about. This is somebody who, makes things easy for you. All right, and this is a really good thing. All right, so next up we have the Four of Cups. Now, because we're talking about the person on your mind and what they're thinking about you right now, the Four of Cups means that, this person actually wants to make some offers as it relates to your relationship. Now, again, depending on what type of relationship this is, this person is going to present you with maybe several ideas or several options as it relates to your connection and your experience together. Now, if it's a romantic relationship, it could be this person is interested, in dating and wants to kind of discuss that with you at some point. If it's not a romantic relationship, it could be maybe somebody that you work with presents you with several offers of maybe working together or maybe doing business together in some way. But what I'm really picking up is more so the romantic connection, and somebody is just willing to be romantically linked to you, and they're willing to kind of accept whatever feels best for you. In other words, they're not going to pressure, they're not going to force anything, but they will say, hey, I'd like to see you more often, or would you be interested in dating, or would you be interested in maybe working towards a committed relationship, whatever the case may be. All right. The other thing is, because this person is giving you several options, it means that they don't want to scare you off. So they only want to be connected to you in whatever way is going to make you the most comfortable. All right. They don't want you feeling weird or awkward or, like I said, scared off because the person may be coming on too strong too quickly. All right, so be prepared to have a really good conversation about different options as it relates to your connection with this person. Next up, we do have the Hangman. Now, the Hangman has been sometimes a tricky card when it comes to relationships, because the first meaning as it relates to the Hangman is someone kind of not making a decision, someone kind of hanging out, somewhere as it relates to the relationship and not necessarily making a decision one way or another. But I'm not getting that energy in this particular reading. What I am getting is that this person is willing to sacrifice or compromise in whatever way possible in order to strengthen the connection with you. All right, so the person could be willing to do whatever you need them to do in order to propel this relationship forward. And if it's going to mean they have to sacrifice, or if they have to do something out of the norm for them, they're willing to do that without judgment and without hesitation. So this is a really good card, and this is also a card that indicates that this person cares more about you than just on a surface level. It means that they care about not only you feeling good in their presence, but it also means that they care about the dynamics and the feelings that you both have while you're together. In other words, they don't want to feel weird either, but they really want to make sure that you guys feel good together. And sometimes that's not really about anything romantic, even when the relationship is romantic. It's like, there's those people who they're just really concerned and considerate, and that's what I'm feeling with your particular person. It's like they're just very considerate of your feelings, and they're very considerate of your time, and they're not going to do anything to jeopardize or take advantage of that. All right, so again, this is just a really good person. All right, next up we do have the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands means that the person on your mind they actually watch you. Now, I'm not saying this is in a creepy way, but they keep tabs on you. They, pay attention to your social media maybe. Or maybe if you work together, they notice when you're around and when you're not. Or maybe if it's, somebody, you have a mutual friend group, it's like they're always noticing you. And this is a good thing because it means you're on their mind, and it means they pay attention to the details when it concerns you. And we always want that, right? We always want someone who pays attention to the details and really takes into consideration what we're doing and how we're feeling and all that. So this person does watch you. Now again, I'm not picking up that it's in a creepy or weird way, but it's just because they really like you. You know how when you like someone, you follow their social media, you see what they're posting, and it's kind of like a curiosity that this person has about you. Now, sometimes people never act on their curiosity. They will just admire from afar. And that's enough for them because maybe for whatever reason, they don't have the courage or confidence to approach you. But I'm not getting that with this. But for some of you, that may be the case. That may be the case that somebody is just not ready to make a move or to make a connection. And they will admire you from afar for a while. But understand there's also a protective quality about that as well. In other words, somebody who is really paying attention to you and what you're doing, they're not going to get in the way of that in any way. They're not going to interfere with what you've got going on. If you're busy doing your thing, if you're running your business or, whatever you're doing, they notice that. And like I said, they're not going to interfere or get in the way of you living your best life, doing your best work, or whatever the case may be. All right, so again, it's a really considerate card. Next, we have the Wheel of Fortune. That is the card of unexpected good luck. I do believe that this person is feeling very lucky to know you, or very lucky to have met you, or very lucky to have some type of a connection with you. All right, they feel like they've hit the jackpot. They feel like, oh my gosh, this person is probably the best thing since sliced bread. When someone feels lucky to know you, you can sense that. And it's a deep appreciation for who you are. And it's also somebody who sees value and worth in you. And they're not going to take it for granted because they know, like I said, how lucky they are to have a connection with you. Now, this may not be something that they reveal right away. This could be something that kind of shows up over time. And sometimes it develops once someone gets to know you. Like when they first meet you, they may not say, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky because I met you. But as they get to know you and they start to see who you truly are, then it comes to their awareness, wow, I really am blessed to have this person in my life right now. Because without them, blah, 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 blah. Right? Without them, who knows what would have happened? Or without them, I would have never have learned that, or I would have never have known that. Right? So sometimes that type of appreciation comes later. But they will see it, and they will sense it. And they will acknowledge it to you. All right, the last card you got is the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is always a good news card. Now, typically, the Page of Pentacles means good news as it relates to money. And this could be as it relates to the person on your mind as well. I do believe that good news is going to come for you as it relates to money and as it relates to the person that you're thinking about. Now, this can show up in all kinds of ways. It could be, maybe the person on your mind gets some good news that's money related, or it could also be something in your life, good news coming that's money related, that you share with the person that's on your mind. But the thing is this is a good card for you. So understand that you have some really good news as it relates to money coming your way. Now, when this card shows up in relationships, it also means that sometimes we are weighing and evaluating the cost involved as it relates to this connection. And the thing is it's not a bad thing. It's about really understanding, again, the value of the relationship and what it's worth to you and what it's worth to the other person. So it's also about taking time to appreciate the value of the connection that you two have. All right, so when I look at these cards, like I said, you've got a really solid person here. The person is very generous and they want to connect with you, so they're willing to consider multiple options as it relates to making that happen. They're making decisions. They're watching and paying attention to you and what you do. They feel lucky and blessed to know you. And there's definitely some good news, and there's also some valuation as it relates to this relationship or this connection. So it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. We got card number 54, and I think this is pronounced Yi, Y-H-I. It's also the Sun card. Oh wait, is that 59? Maybe that's 59. It looks like a 4, but now I'm seeing it looks like a 9. Either way, it's the Sun card. Now, the Sun card is probably one of the most powerful cards as it relates to the tarot deck, and the Sun card is also probably the most positive card. Well, I say that all the time. But the sun just really helps things grow, right? The sun illuminates. And so I do believe that there will be growth and illumination as it relates to your connection with the person that is on your mind. Growth, progress, warmth, all the things that are represented by the sun. Also, I wouldn't be surprised for some of you if it means that this person makes you the center of their universe. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Let's move on to the next pile. All right, we've got the clear quartz pile. Beautiful crystal. So what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to pull 6 cards. And we're going to focus on the person on your mind right now and their thoughts about you. And we're going to see what's going on as it relates to that. Okay. All right. What do we need to know about the person on your mind right now? All right. So the first card we got is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a very good card because that's a card that indicates financial support and assistance. And I do believe that the person on your mind right now could be supportive to you in some way. Now, the other thing about the Knight of Pentacles is that it means that this person shows up exactly in the way that you need them to, and exactly the timing that you need them to. In other words, they are coming to the rescue, they are coming to support you, and they are coming to help you out in any way that you need it. But the thing with the Knight of Pentacles, though, is like there's always some type of a money element as it relates to this card. So this could be someone giving you money, someone helping you learn or understand something about money or something financially related. Or it could be that this person is just in a very good financial position, and so they kind of want to mentor you or coach you in some way and help you get there as well. So in other words, this person definitely has good intentions as it relates to helping you, and someone who wants to see you win. Now, if we're looking at this From a romantic perspective, again, this means that this is someone who wants to take care of you in some way. Someone who wants to support, someone who wants to nurture, and someone who also wants to provide and protect in some way. And it doesn't necessarily mean male, female, masculine, or feminine. It just means that that's what's in this particular person's nature, and that is kind of how they show up, or how they are choosing to show up in this relationship or in this connection with you. Next up, we do have the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is a card that talks about sometimes stepping back or temporarily stepping away from a situation because they need to figure out what the next move is going to be. So if the person on your mind seems to be distant for some reason, don't necessarily take it as disinterest, or that they don't like you, or that they don't want to get to know you, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes people pull away because they're dealing with other issues, and I do feel like the person in your life, or the person that's on your mind right now, they're dealing with some things that they need to pay attention to, and sometimes that means disconnecting from everything else that is not that. All right, so again, don't interpret that as something negative. In other words, give the person the space and the freedom and the time they need in order to sort through whatever it is that they need to sort out. Next up, we do have the Six of Cups, and this is always a good card because this is a card that talks about reconnection. And it may be in the physical sense, or it may be in the emotional or energetic sense. The person on your mind definitely will reconnect with you, and that's actually probably the best card for us to see after this Four of Swords, because it means that if someone does make the decision to pull away, all you have to do is stay put, focus on you, and they will show back up. Because remember, sometimes people need to process things. And it has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with who we are, what we're doing, what we said, what we didn't do. None of that. All right. The other aspect of the Six of Cups is that this is a very fun and playful card. It's a very youthful card. So this person likes to have fun with you. And they think about all the ways that you two can have fun together. All right. Now, sometimes people, like, they're afraid to have fun, or they're afraid to kind of step out of, the norms of what they usually do. But you bring out the playful side of this person, and they really enjoy that and appreciate that about you. Because you know how people are. Not everybody will let their guard down, or they only let their guard down around a few select people. And the person on your mind feels comfortable to let their guard down when you activate that playful side of them. So that's a really sweet, beautiful card. Now, next up, we do have the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords talks about hesitating on making a decision, or sometimes just refusing to make a decision. So as this relates to the person on your mind and what they're thinking about right now, this person may not necessarily want to make a decision as it relates to your relationship. Not because they don't like you or not because they don't care. It's because they're still not quite sure exactly what it is that they want. And when someone doesn't know what they want, we have to decide if we are going to be available for that. Right? Because we talked about how this person is supportive. They may need to pull away for whatever reason, but they really do enjoy spending time with you because you bring out the playfulness. But sometimes that's not necessarily enough, or what we are expecting when it comes to our connection to this person. Now, the other aspect of the Two of Swords is that sometimes it means that someone is waiting for you to make a decision. In other words, they won't make the decision because they want you to make the decision. And depending on the dynamics of the relationship that you have with this person, they're perfectly fine just sitting around waiting for you to decide what's going to happen next. Some people are really Like they're not necessarily aggressive or assertive when it comes to certain things. And so some people will gladly sit back and just wait for things to kind of happen in their own timing, in their own way. All right, so there's two aspects as it relates to this card. Either someone not, deliberately not making a decision, or they're kind of just hanging out and waiting for you to make the decision. Now, when someone is in a place like that, it kind of means that they're open to whatever shows up, but they may not necessarily be as committed as maybe you would want them to be, or maybe you think they should be. But we have to make sure we don't misinterpret someone's intentions either, because there's also people who are very afraid of rejection, and so they won't do anything. And they will just kind of hope that the person they likes them back, and hope that they want a relationship just like they do. All right, so you can kind of see how this can kind of trip things up, because nothing is like really progressing, because someone is just kind of hanging out and waiting to see what happens. But now, if you're not sure exactly what you want as it relates to a connection with this person, that could actually be a good thing, because then there's no pressure for you to feel obligated one way or another. Okay, so again, this is going to depend on the dynamics and the personality of your person and your relationship. Okay, all right, let's move on to the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords, this is a card where I feel like this person has been burned. All right, the person that is on your mind right now and what they're thinking about, this could also explain a lot of this going on here, because this indicates someone has been hurt very deeply. Someone maybe even feels traumatized by a past relationship or a past connection. All right, the Seven of Swords means that someone is still very, very in their wounded state. They are still processing a lot of emotions. And when they think about you, they get very nervous because they don't want to get hurt again, or they don't want to go through another similar traumatic experience. But now here's the thing, what you have to realize as someone who is an outsider as it relates to that, it is not your job to heal someone else's trauma. It is not your job to help them move through the process of releasing, forgiving, letting go, whatever they need to do in order to get through this. Now, some people do this on their own. Some people go through this with a therapist or a counselor, whatever the case may be. But understand, their healing is not your responsibility. However, you can have compassion because you understand what they're going through, because we all have been heartbroken in relationships, I'm sure, at least once. And so please remember that even if you feel a deep connection to this person, it's not your responsibility to heal them, or, like I said, to lead them in that direction. But you may have to, like I said, have compassion and maybe some empathy for them as they're going through this. And this has nothing to do with you. This is their own journey. But it may explain why sometimes people will hesitate as it relates to moving forward in a relationship, or it may explain maybe certain behaviors that either are triggering for you, or you may just not understand. But remember, don't internalize that, okay? It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It doesn't mean that, that you're doing something wrong or you said something wrong. No, but we just have to understand that everybody is going through their own stuff. All right? And some people are further along the healing journey than others. Some people, they've been dealing with something for years, and other people, maybe this is something recent that they're going through. And then everyone will heal at their own pace as well. Okay, so just remember that and understand that as you're moving forward with, your particular person that is on your mind. All right, finally, we do have the Five of Pentacles. This is all about the mindset. Again, what I am picking up with this card is that the person that's on your mind really does want to connect with you. However, they do feel like they may be limited in some way. You know, it's not that you guys don't have fun together. Of course you do. But this is a card about mindset and what someone believes is possible for them. They may think that you are, you know, the most incredible, amazing person. However, sometimes people have insecurities and they may not feel they're deserving or worthy of someone like you. All right, again, this is their own stuff that they need to heal, and it's not your job to convince anybody of anything, right? Sometimes people, you know, have their own, issues, yes, but they have their own kind of perspective as it relates to certain things. And so we have to remember that, because when it comes to the big picture, you know, we can't control how someone interprets something, or what type of definition someone will place on someone or something. All right, but here's where you can kind of make things, I guess, easier for you and for your person that is on your mind, and that's by you having really good communication about what you want, what you're available for, and what you expect. And it doesn't mean that this person has to conform to everything that you say, but it does mean that you have established the parameters and the dynamics of how this is going to unfold, at least for you. That way, there's no surprises, and there's no somebody saying, well, I didn't know, or well, you never told me this. All right, so it's all about the mindset. And it's all about, again, what are you willing to communicate that you are available for right now with this person who is on your mind. And again, this may or may not be romantic for some of you, all right? But it's all about learning how to develop the interactions with certain people in order to make sure that it is beneficial for both people involved, you know, for whoever is involved. You know, I'm not saying you only deal with people because you benefit, but, you know, you don't want to connect with someone who's not going to help you grow in some way, who's not going to help you experience the things that you want to experience in this life. All right, so it's definitely something to think about. But one of the things I really enjoyed about your reading is the playfulness aspect, because we just don't have enough of that in the world today. All of us are so serious because we're so tied down to our responsibilities and our obligations. And I feel that playful spirit is definitely something that needs to be cherished. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading with a Goddess Oracle card. Oh my gosh, you got the card of humor. How perfect is that? All right, this is card 49. And I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Is it Uzemi or Yazum? I'm not quite sure. Feel free to correct me. But this is the card of humor. Like I said, that was the thing that stuck out the most to me about your reading, is that this person has a playful, fun energy to them. And like I said, that's something that needs to be cherished, because we just don't get that all the time. All right, so enjoy the person that's on your mind right now, because they're fun. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. These readings will be posted once a week. If you have any requests about future pick-a-card readings, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will add your ideas and suggestions to my list.